The door that leads off of the dental area actually goes to our cat ward. This is a small area that we hospitalize cats in. We designed it so that it would have a windows to give the cats some natural light. We think that's a very important thing when a patient's convalescing, to have some natural light. It also has a mechanical deck over that room, so the ceiling is just a little bit lower in that room. It actually, I think, has an 8-foot ceiling in that room. And we did that intentionally because we wanted a little bit of a hum in that room so the cats wouldn't hear any outside noise. All the walls in our that surround our animal wards were specially designed to have studs that alternate and extra insulation, so that hopefully they're very quiet anyway. But we wanted the cats, again, to have that extra little hum in the background so they couldn't hear dogs barking and not be stressed by species that they don't want to see. The next room next to the cat ward is our dog ward, where we hospitalize sick patients or patients that have had surgery. Along one wall we have a bank of stainless steel cages. At the end of the room we have a stainless steel tub that we do baths on small animals and prepare food. We also have a foot bath that was designed to allow our staff to change our mop buckets without having back strain by trying to pick a bucket up and empty it into the sink. To the left of the stainless steel sink in the back of the room is a set of runs for our hospitalized patients. We have 6 runs, indoor runs, that are air conditioned. They have grate covered floors in that room and 4-foot tall cinder block walls with wire above the top, and that's where we house the largest dogs that need to be hospitalized for whatever reason. And that's the conclusion of the actual hospital part of the tour. As you leave the animal wards, you'll pass from what we consider the hospital area into the boarding. We try to physically separate these two areas so there's minimal contact between patients that are healthy and boarding and patients that are hospitalized and sick. As you pass down the hall, our employee lounge is to the right, and this has a kitchen and a sitting area in it for late night stays when we're working after hours, and so we can have staff meetings and that sort of thing. As you pass through the first set of doors, there's an airlock chamber that's just a little bit of extra security so that we hopefully will never have an animal escape and be able to run down the hall and make it to the front door without somebody stopping it. The first door to the right is our cat boarding room. It's very similar to our cat ward, except it's just a little bit bigger. We have a large window to the outside, so again the cats have something to watch and look at during the day, and it's a very sunny and warm room. The next door opens up into our dog boarding and dog grooming area. We groom several days a week. We don't groom every day, so this was as much space as we felt we should donate to something we do sporadically. We have only healthy animals in this area, and we have 2 areas to be bathed in. There's a large tub to the right that we use for big dogs, and then there's a single bowl, very large sink in the corner that we use for small dogs and cats for bathing. The door to the left leads to our dog boarding wards. We have 12 runs. They are similar in design to the runs that are in the hospital part of the building, but they're a little bit bigger. They're wider and longer than the hospitalized runs because these dogs need a little more room. They're all indoors and they're air conditioned. We were concerned about having outdoor runs for the potential for heat exposure, as well as someone being able to have interaction with animals. So for security reasons and health reasons, we decided to have all of our runs be indoors. It's also nice for the neighbors because they don't get a lot of dog barking in the neighborhood. It's not a nuisance for the people that live close by to us. We also used acoustical steel in that room on the ceiling to try to control the sound and the bleed into other rooms, and it works very well. I said there's not a lot of extra noise in the hospital. It's a major problem in veterinary hospitals when you're consulting and trying to do your design work, trying to make sure that the sound is not unacceptable or unpleasant for your people working in the building or for clients coming in. So we're very happy with the sound control we have in that room. It has a lot of big dogs in it, and it's not a loud room on the outside. So as you come down the hall to the right, we have one doctor's office that we share among 3 doctors. It's also our hospital library. We have bookshelves on one wall and then a window wall with multiple workstations and telephones and the usual office clutter of a busy veterinary practice and a computer system. This computer is integrated with the rest of the hospital, but it's also online so that we can interact with veterinarians in other part of the country and use the VIN service. We tried to design something that we thought that the neighbors would be pleased to have their house nearby. And again, we tried to make it a quiet building so they wouldn't have a lot of unpleasant dog noise in the neighborhood. And my parents, like I said, do live very close by, so we wanted to make it something that was pleasing to look at too. So we haven't, if anybody doesn't like it, they haven't told us. Like I said, so all the comments we've heard about the exterior have been very favorable. We have had a lot of interest from friends of ours and colleagues that are veterinarians in other places that are thinking about doing a design project, and they came to look at the building and ask us what our experience was like.
I think in comparing our clinic, to other buildings, we'll say, the way our building is with other buildings. We're very proud of the way our building looks. We're real proud of the flow here in the building. It's a very workable building. We feel like it's probably one of the very best buildings here in Greensboro. There are some very fine veterinary clinics and buildings here in Greensboro, and we feel like ours is right up there with the very best.